You stupid fool. Did you really think you gonna hit me? Huh? Bam, bam, bam. Over.
And we're gonna put on a great show and a great performance. It will be a one-sided massacre, I promise you that. And I'm gonna punish him. He gonna wish he took his brother's advice not to take this fight.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? You know, it's one thing to say this was a moral victory for Mikey Garcia in terms of Mikey Garcia personally feeling better. You know, like him basically saying, well, hey, at least I didn't get knocked out. And if you say it's a moral victory for that reason, then there's nothing wrong with that. I say, hey, whatever makes Mikey Garcia feel better about the loss, right? But when fans start taking this moral victory serious, like it's really some type of consolation win, like his value goes up the same way Errol Spence's value is going up, you guys are sadly mistaken. In fact, Bob Arum, he doesn't see it as a moral victory for Mikey Garcia at all, because he didn't give Mikey any credit in his performance against Errol Spence. This is what he had to say according to reports by Mike Carpenter, who works with PBC. Bob Arum said a fight between Vasily Lomachenko and Mikey Garcia has lost its value after the latter's performance versus Errol Spence. And then Mike is reporting that Bob Arum called Mikey Garcia a mutt for what he perceived as a weak effort. Now, I don't believe that Mikey Garcia put up a weak effort. I don't believe that at all. Mikey Garcia, he tried to do everything he could do to close the distance. And Mikey even said this in the post-fight press conference. By the way, because Mikey is such an intelligent fighter, I thought it was really impressive the way he completely broke down everything that Errol Spence was able to do that he could not counter. I mean, Mikey said it. He said every time he tried to make adjustments, Errol Spence would have an answer for it. He completely broke it down in that post-fight press conference. So, yeah, I mean, Mikey Garcia, he fought on the inside. He fought on the outside, and no matter where he was at in the ring, he was not successful because, once again, as Mikey put it, Errol Spence, he had an answer for everything. So once again, Bob Arum, he says that the fight has lost value. And to a certain extent, I agree with Bob Arum, but at the same time, this is still a great fight to put on. I would still like to see the fight. There's no doubt about it. After losing like that, it does lose a little value. But one thing I will say is if Mikey Garcia got this opportunity and he beat Lomachenko, then he gains back a lot of that value in a rematch. And now he's respected a lot more. It's just like when Marco Antonio Barrera fought against Eric Morales. When they first fought, because Barrera was coming off of a knockout loss or 2 losses to Junior Jones, no one really took that fight that serious. It was looked at as an easy fight for Eric Morales going in, which seriously motivated Barrera. And that fight turned out to be one of Eric Morales, or the toughest fight he had ever been in at that point of his career as a professional. And then when they had the rematch, then they were both on the same level going into the fight. So this could possibly happen with Mikey Garcia, because Bob Arum, he didn't really say if he wanted to make the fight or not. We know he wanted to make the fight before. I'm not sure if he wants to make it now, but if Lomachenko reaches out to Bob Arum and tells him, I want that fight, Bob, most likely Bob Arum is going to oblige his fighter. But Lomachenko, he did say this was the fight that he wanted after his Corolla fight. So we'll see what happens. I will say this though, if Mikey Garcia can't get the Lomachenko fight, where does he go? Because I'm telling you right now, at 140, there are some dangerous champions and fighters at 140. You have Regis Prograis, you have Josh Taylor. Those would be some tough opponents for Mikey Garcia. Mikey can also stay at 147. I've already told you guys, I think he has a very good chance against fighters like Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Danny Garcia. But when it comes to lightweight, there's really no one down there but Lomachenko. But Mikey does have a lot of options. He definitely has a lot of options. But I just think it's crazy how now all of a sudden, especially when you hear Bob Arum saying that Mikey Garcia has lost value. So while Bob Arum is saying that Mikey Garcia has lost value, meanwhile Errol Spence, he's on the ascend. And he has a possible fight lined up with Manny Pacquiao. If he doesn't get that fight, he gets to fight the other champions like Sean Porter. He gets a chance to unify the belts. And I can guarantee you his stock will continue to rise as long as he has good opponents to get in the ring with. But with Mikey Garcia, we're just going to have to see where he decides to go. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the